G'day. About 5 months into my account and figured we'd check it out. Again, stock price. I have most of the achievements except for a few, which of course gets you points because I'm not really investing in points. Again, this video is done for those who are not heavily investing in points. Because just like a retail shop, one of the things I find is you should be able to purchase an airplane and make sure it's in the air as often as possible. And so, just so you know how I run my company, I have my planes in the air as often as possible. I'm checking in multiple times a day. And as a result of that, a little more conscious about gas prices, but at the same time, I don't want my airplane sitting. And again, if you're not investing in a lot of points, you have a situation where you might have to have planes sit because you can't afford the gas. And so I don't want that, and therefore I make sure all my routes, even if I were paying top price for gas, top price for CO2, I'm not going to have to worry about that. So just so you understand how I'm playing, I know some people disagree with my philosophy, but I find it's worked for me, as well as the math shows that it actually is better. So I've invested in all the staff training. Currently, every chance I get, I'm increasing my hangars. And let's check out my planes. Okay, so currently I still have B737s. I'm planning on upgrading those to Airbuses, although right now I have room for 20 freight planes, so I'm investing my money in those for now. I want to hang on to my CRJs because I strongly believe if you're not investing in points and you're running those at 200 kilometers one way, those are the best planes to start off with. And so I plan on using those to find a number of different routes. I'm slowly getting rid of my Fokkers as I only have two left, although I am doing experiments with those. Have one DC-910 to do experiments with, and then the bigger planes, obviously, I'm hanging on for longer. So just so you understand what I'm doing with each of these, and again, my Airbus 380 800s I'm going to be building over time. So that's the plan. In terms of my fleet, well, again, maybe I should focus on my hubs. So these are my hubs. For the most part, I find they all work well. Detroit Metro, I kind of did that because I could afford it and somebody was asking questions about it. Not really the best hub to invest in. And then Indianapolis, again, another wasted hub. But besides that, I find all these others work well. Bradford and Sarnia, the only reason I invested in these two is because I got a lot of events for those two. And so I wanted a little bit of a boost on my first class planes going out of there. So those are sort of caveat exceptions for those. But the rest of the hubs I find do well. Egypt, Cairo, if I were to do it again, I'd probably invest in Istanbul, Turkey, or Dubai because it's close enough. And yeah, I am looking at other hubs eventually, but I think I have more than enough for now. Fuel, as I said, again, I'm able to invest and in 10 million pounds, and for CO2, 13 million, which does me well. Basically, every 40 to 60 planes, I have to boost this up, and I can usually get away with 2 full cycles, 1 to 2 full cycles currently how my planes are set up. But eventually I know I'm going to have to increase this more. So, maintenance, I'm usually updating my planes at 28%. So it doesn't hit 30. Somebody told me that at 30% your stock price goes down. Not sure if that's true. Not sure what negative effect that might have, if any. And then at bulk checks for the airframe checks, I do it at 50 hours or less. And I find that because it only goes red on you at 30%, and then that apparently impacts your stock price. So I've been told. Haven't verified that. So again, if you're sitting there going, what are you talking about? Again, this is just what I'm assuming based on what I've told. I'll show you more of my staff after. In terms of companies I invest in, I primarily advise you if you're going to invest in any companies, make sure that you are in an alliance with them, because then from there you can see are they online or not, and if they go red, you probably don't want to invest in them anymore, because I find that then they're not doing what they should over a daily basis, and their stock price might slip, so you might as well sell there. Again, might be wrong on that, but I found that works well for me so far. So let's look at my routes. I'm going to pull up my spreadsheet here. And this is my info, and you can slow it down just to go through some of the routes. These are the current routes, and I'm constantly switching this around. This is a dead route. I have somebody else actually running that, and eventually I'm going to switch that out. So ignore that route. But the rest of them are pretty good based on the planes they are, and I'm constantly upgrading those. This one here, I'm trying it out for now. I don't have to do an airframe check on this plane for a bit, so I like to try out routes that are not along my hubs. And so that's that. Got my hubs and the information about it. Best rate of return per plane. Again, some of these are question marks because I'm constantly experimenting. And then these are old routes that were not as good. And then here's my rough, which is really the sort of meat of it. And so over the last few months, what I've done is I've sort of done checks. Hey, how is each of my planes versus each other over a period of time? So this is over a day, and then over time I start increasing that. I'm able to compare how my routes are doing in terms of rate of return, how many flights over a period of time, and what's my plane's net profit. Again, if you're sitting there going, what's CAR? That's Caracas. That's my 3 letters short for my U's. And again, you can sort of see. And sometimes I'll compare different airplanes. Sometimes I'll just do one type of airplane. Usually I just do one so I can see what are the best routes on it, so I can experiment, especially with some of my lower planes like the CRJs, like the Fokkers, like the ERJs, and the B737s. And so, just giving out some information in relation to that, especially the last few months, I've really been doing experiments, trying them out, seeing which routes work best. And then from there, whichever are my worst routes, I try and pick like my 5 worst routes, and then I try and improve them. And obviously, you might say, well, the opportunity cost, you're losing out. Like I should be, at this point, have gotten rid of all my CRJs and my DC-910s and my Fokkers and my ERJs, and invested solely in at least the Max 10s to make more money. But I kind of want to know, and I figure eventually, once I figure out the best routes for each plane, and that'll take a while, I'll do a video on that. So, but this is what I have so far. As you can see, my last run, I did the Max 10s earlier today, And my route Moscow to Brasilia over the last 8 days has made the most amount of money, while my route Caracas to Iceland is making the least. I'm finding that at 11,000 kilometers approximately is my best rate of return. I've tried more, and that doesn't make me as much, but again, that really depends on how often you log in. So, this is based on over 8 days, and so obviously some of those days I'm working. And then some of those days I'm relaxing with family, going out, whatever. So, again, your results might be different, but this might give you some ideas if you are using these types of planes as to the best distance, the best destination. But of course, your experience is going to be different. This is my last check for my B737s. I did that yesterday. Again, best rate of return I find just under 9,000, but that's what works for me, and that's over 3 days. This is for my CRJs along with my Fokkers and my DC-910s. I'm still tweaking this route over the last little bit just to see if I can get a better rate of return. These routes, again, I'm also tweaking here and there. And then my ERJ 190 200s. So yeah. Anyways, that's where I am at 5 months. Hope this information might help you at the very least in looking at possible routes that might benefit you depending on what planes you're using. I don't think I've done Airbus A380s in a bit. Yeah, it's been a while. So the last time I checked that, that was back in May, and my best rate of return on that was Paris to Micronesia. So hopefully that helps. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, press the bell icon for notifications, and I'll be doing one of these once a month so you can check out my progress, possibly add some routes to your Airline Manager for Sim to give you ideas of what routes might work for you. And thanks for watching my video. Hope you watch the next one. Later.